In a previous video, I talked through how to change a string in a harp, which is an unfortunate downside to playing a harp, but occasionally strings do break. I've had a lot of people have ordered strings from my website and have had difficulty tying them, so that video took care of that. But I've also since that had a lot of people who have been, not a lot of people, but some people have been asking questions in relation to buzzes on strings and so forth. So in this video, I'm going to explain, first of all, what a buzz is and some of the reasons why it may be happening. But to do that, I need to go through and I'll explain what the different parts in the harp that I'm going to be talking about are. So I'll be talking through from the tuning pin right down through the string and individually pointing these out for you. Right, the first thing I'm going to talk about then on this, so this is a cherry terminamella. First thing, I'm going to use string 21, which is a B string. The reason I'm using that is because it's a nice white colour and it shows up well in the video. But what I'm going to talk about applies to every string. So the first thing that we have here is your tuning pin or tuning peg, some people like to call them. The string then passes down and goes over a bridge pin, just as you would go over a bridge yourself. The string goes over the bridge pin and it then passes straight down through the lever and not touching the lever at all. The lever's down, so it's not engaged. It passes straight through and goes down to the eyelet. That gives you your vibrating length of the string being from here on the bridge pin down to the eyelet on the bottom at the soundboard. So when you pluck your string, it gives you a B. The lever in this case is down, so it's not doing anything. If I was to engage the lever, which by putting the lever up, you'll see there that that action of me putting the lever up raises this metal bar, which pushes the string in and presses it against this back fret in the harp. So it goes from its natural state, which is a B, and then when it goes up, this little slot and bar act on the string, making it shorter and also putting more tension onto the string. So the vibrating length has now changed and it goes from here, where the string's touching the back of the lever, and goes down to the eyelet. So the vibrating length getting shorter has meant that the tone has went up, and in this case has went up by a semitone. Now there's a number of reasons why a string might buzz, both when the lever is either up or down. I'm going to talk you through one or two of those now, and hopefully how we can get those alleviated for you. A buzz can sometimes occur after you've changed the string. It could be that the harp has maybe taken a bump or something, getting it in and out of its case. But generally what a buzz is that the string is vibrating. We talked about the vibrating length. So that string is vibrating and it's touching against something. Not always, but normally that could be a cause. Very often it's the lever. So the first thing you need to look at is to make sure that it isn't the lever. So to let you hear what it would sound like, first of all, as I say, I have deliberately engineered a buzz on this string, which is that one. So you can clearly hear there that there's a buzz. That's that rattly noise from the string, as opposed to your nice clear note. So that's a buzz. I'll come back to that one, but there's the first thing you would always check is to make sure that your levers are down properly. So take this F, for example, if I have the lever up, not fully up, just enough, you can hear a buzz because it's vibrating against the front portion of the lever. So put that down and it's gone. So there is no buzz in that anymore. On this B, what had happened and what I did was I moved the bridge pin to move the string a little bit closer to the lever itself. Now, if you look down the inside of the lever, you'll be able to see where it looks to be too close. In this instance, I know to look at it, and anybody could see that it's too close to the back of the lever, so it's touching the back fret. Bridge pins on my harps and a lot of harps nowadays are all threaded. So if you turn that anti-clockwise, it's threading it out as you would unscrew something. You're going backwards, lefty-loosey and all that. So it's bringing it out, which means that the string is moving out away from the harp. So it's coming this way and taking it away from the little fret in the back. So if I want to move this string out, away from the lever, it's anti-clockwise, which is a 5mm. 5mm tool goes on, and then it is just a case of bringing it back out until the buzz has gone away. If you ever get a buzz, it could very much be as little as about a quarter of a turn on the tuning on the bridge pin. The thing that is, quarter of a turn, check and see if it's gone. Another turn, check and see, and do it until it's gone. And if it's not been done right, it is just simply a case of winding the bridge pin back in again. You're not going to do your harp any harm. You can put it back to where it goes. And if all else fails, bring your harp back to me and I'll be able to get it to where it should be. But adjusting the bridge pin will hopefully take out a buzz in a circumstance such as that. There are other things that can cause buzzes in harps, and I'm not going to go into all of them now, but there are various things, like it could be the handle is loose on the lever, there could be some component within the harp. I had someone one time brought one of my harps back to me. They had a pickup fitted to the harp, not by myself, it was retrofitted. And they had buzzes in their harp, and they thought it was all sorts of horrible things. It was something just as simple. It was the washer that was holding in the jack plug for the pickup was loose, and it was just vibrating in sympathy with the harp whenever the harp was being played. So it's not always levers, but it is the first place to kind of look at. It could be a number of different things, and it's not something that's as obvious as a bridge pin adjustment. Speak to myself if it's one of my harps, and we'll be able to get you sorted out. The thing with a buzz on a string, it can sometimes just happen because the lever has taken a bump or taken a knock. It's never fatal, it's never a problem, just have a tweak at the bridge pin. Downside to moving a bridge pin is that it is going to affect your sharps. If you can cast your mind back to where I was talking about how the string, the tension is increased and the vibrating length is decreased by putting the lever up. When you wind a bridge pin out, it brings it that the lever pushes harder on it. So it will bring your sharp up slightly. So adjusting your bridge pin will ever so slightly change the sharps. If you're in the middle of playing something and it's buzzing, it's not going to change it significantly that it's going to be a problem for you. You can also, this is the same method to regulate levers. I'm going to leave that to another video for another day because it is slightly more involved. But regulating levers can be just as simple as adjusting bridge pins in and out. As I say, on this one it was the string 21, which is the 5mm one, and the others are 3, 4 and 5mm, 4, 5 and 6mm bridge pins. So that is hopefully all you would need to know to take a buzz out of a string. Now I've talked about taking a buzz away from a string. I touched on how moving a bridge pin will also affect the sharps when you put your levers up or down. Now it is one of the ways that levers can be regulated. The regulation of levers and lever harp is actually quite a complicated process. But there are some small steps that you could take which could maybe help along the way if you do find yourself that they're just not perfect for you. Always bear in mind the sharps will be different in different environments. You might find that it's perfect when you're in your house, but you move to a different venue, maybe temperatures, humidities, there can be various factors, that are causing that to change for you. On this harp, I'm going to show you how using my bridge pin tool to change the sharps. So I'm going to use this, I'll go to the E string again. So there we can see that's perfectly on E. If I put my lever up, we're just down on F. So it's not bringing it sharp enough. Not an awful lot, but enough that it is something that you might be able to look at. As we talked before about the bridge pin affects the tension and the length of the string. To bring the sharp up slightly, you want it to be pushing the lever, pushing harder on it, so giving it more tension. So in that instance, what you do is turn your bridge pin to the left. Same principle, lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. Right tightens it in, so it'll move the bridge pin in towards the back of the harp, and left will bring it out towards the front. And it will mean when it comes further out that the lever pushes harder on it. So in this instance, I'm going to try, and you do it in small amounts at a time. So again, we're on a medium bridge pin, which is the 5mm. And I'm going to try just to show you the differences that it can make. So just to check on the open string, it's still E. And then I'm going to give it about a quarter of a turn. So you can see that's about a quarter of a turn. And I'll just check that we still have E, because that process can sometimes affect your natural as well. So just check that, which is fine. And the lever up. And we're not quite there yet. So I'll give it about about a quarter of a turn and try again. So again, E and F. The same principle applies if the string is getting too sharp for you. Wind the bridge pin in, so it's not pushing as hard on the string. And the same principle applies to every lever. Now, the only problem that you will have is if you bring it out too much or in too much, that could cause a buzz. And in that case, it is time to give me a ring and get your harp down. I'll sort it out. The Camac levers are complex sweet pieces to work with at times, but they can be serviced. And I service my own harps. If you've bought a harp from me, that price includes your servicing. If you want to give it a go yourself at home, I do have all these servicing tools available on my website, harpparts.co.uk. But it's not a complicated process, and anybody locally, feel free, give me a call. I can talk you through it over the phone and save you a trip to me, then we'll get that done for you.